Good evening, one and all. Welcome all to Vayomanasa Sanjeevani's Sandhya Karanji. I welcome all the Zoom for today's activity session is Science and Yoga and Remedy for Ailment. To talk about this, we have a very young senior citizen, Mr. H.A. Nagaraj Rao, sir. I warm welcome you, sir, for today's session. Giving an introduction about Nagaraj Rao, sir, he is 84 years old young and a retired managing director of Karnataka State Karnataka Silk Board. Currently, he is the president of Bangalore Apartment Federation, and he's having 32 years of service in government of Karnataka and 5 years of service in government of India. He had worked as a World Bank consultant, former chief coordinator of Bangalore IT.com, and regional executive of IT Export Promotion Council. He have won national award winner of Government of India for online transaction in 1988. Past president of Operation Research Society of India, former All India Civil Service tennis champion, and he have awarded national veteran I'm sorry if I spelled it wrong, tennis champion, ranked 1 in India 2008. And he's a life member of a Computer Society of India and Bangalore Management Association, former executive director of International Sericulture Alliance, and GC member of Computer Society of India. And he have visited around 20 countries. Talking about his yoga, he is practicing yoga for 20 years and has overcome several ages related alignment and several presentations on science in yoga, and he have motivated a lot of youngsters as well as software engineers. A very warm welcome to our young senior citizen and a charming, energetic person, Nagaraj Rao, sir. I would like to request you to share the screen and start the session, sir. On to you, sir. Thank you.
Good evening to all of you who have joined just now. Namaskar. Gina has been good enough to give a lot of superlatives. I don't know how many I'll be able to contribute. You have to decide whether I'm fit enough for that. Anyway, she said, normally I say, whenever somebody asks me, how old are you? I say, I'm 84 years young. Why should I say old? I'm young. So why should I say old? Don't say old. If you are 90 years, you say 90 years young, not old. I mean, that is the positive way of telling some people. I have been practicing yoga for the last 25 years. Earlier, I had no sense of yoga. I was only playing tennis, and I was running about 10 kilometers a day in the morning for about 10 years. With the lack of knowledge on yoga, I damaged both the knee joints at that time. It was delivered as osteoarthritis. I am now having the osteoarthritis for the last 45 years. The difference is, by God's blessings, thanks to yoga, I don't take a pill, I don't have the pain. I may limp a bit, but I don't have the pain. Normally, you get this osteoarthritis. Secondly, I underwent some sort of a training in yoga, but not a regular graduation course, anything like that. Not interested. But I started feeling yoga in my own body. When I started feeling that, I took a little more interest, and then I have come out with some solutions for a few ailments. I don't say all ailments, I say few ailments, because I have overcome those ailments. The first, as I told you, is osteoarthritis. No pain, no pill. I developed prostate. never went for surgery. I developed, I have a history of varicose veins, no medicine. I developed hernia, no doctor's consultation at all. And by the blessings of God, my parents, I am free from the normal ailments of the human, diabetes and hypertension. I am blessed with that without suffering from these two. First, these blessings, God's blessings, parents' blessings, and then my efforts in yoga, all the three put together. So, my presentation will be not taking the book information and then transferring it to you. The information on book comes to me, to my body, and then I'm adding experience to that and then making a presentation if it is going to be helpful to you. I broadly put this entire thing into two sessions because one session I may not be able to cover all the little knowledge I have. I have bifurcated this into two. The second session I have told Gina already, it may be after a month. The first part of it will contain what is the science in yoga, the basic science, and I stop at pranayama. The second session will be mostly pranayama and meditation. One point I just wanted to highlight is, by grace of God, I have never visited a hospital for the last 7 to 8 years, though I consulted my friend doctors for some time. But recently, the allergy has taken me a lead towards the doctor, but I'm slowly coming out of the problem. All these on account of yoga, plus I will be explaining to you one small event called Jalaneti. Some of you might have heard Jalaneti, but I will give the details of what Jalaneti is without going into details now. Aging in the normal course means adding years to life. I am 84, 80, next year 85, next year 86. But the growth through yoga means adding life to years. It is adding life to years. That is the major difference. I will share my screen and start the presentation. How do I do that?
Sir, I think first you need to, yeah, you can open your PPT, sir, down.
I have already done it.
Okay, then can you stop? Yes, we can see, sir. You can
You
go.
can see? Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah. You
If
can
we can,
go. Yeah.
if I can see, that's fine. Now we can see?
Yes, sir. Perfect. We can see.
Audio, video, both are good? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Normally, for any of the events on yoga, I always pray the Lord of yoga to start with and then go ahead. Just bear with me for 1 or 2 minutes. With the folded hands, I just want to pray. Please. Yogena chittasya patena vacha malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarottam pravaram munina patanjalin pranjarilanatosmi abaha purushakaram shankhachakrastidaryanam sahasrasirasam shvetam Pranamomi Patanjali Hari Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Duck over my head. Pray for Lord Patanjali. Pray for all the leaders, all the spiritual leaders, all the yoga leaders of the world to bless all of us our family, our children, our kith and kin with better health. Let us also pray for those who are suffering from ailments to recover fast and join their families. Let us also pray for those soldiers who gave up their lives in the recent war between Russia and Ukraine. Slowly raise the head up. Now, let us start. This is Lord Patanjali. He is the first person to give yoga to the world, and he is the direct disciple of Lord Shiva, Lord Ganapati. Lord Shiva is called Adi Guru, and he is called Guru. Next to that is, I follow a system of yoga called VMS Sandhya Yoga. Dr. VMS Sandhya is no more. We lost him a couple of years ago. He is the person who took yoga physically to the entire world. There are at least about 200 or 250 institutions in his name all over the world. The specialty of Dr. VMS Sandhya is that in the normal course, people may not be in a position to bend, do all the asanas. He has done a lot of research on providing some props, supports. For example, because of my osteoarthritic knee, I won't be able to sit down with the folded knee. I use the props, that yoga mat. See, this is the yoga mat. Everybody knows about it. And these are called the bolsters, support system. This can remove your back pain quite a bit. And this is called the yoga chair. You can do at least about 80 to 90 asanas using this. And this is called the belt, which straightens the knee. If I have overcome partly my osteoarthritis, it is because of the belt as well as the chair. And with 35 years of my tennis, you can imagine I should be having a lot of back pain, but thank God I don't have any back pain. These are the most of the reasons. So these are the props, they are called, which Dr. VMS Sandhya gave it to the world, and then some of the people are following it up. Yoga, all encompassing, first is science, second is art, third is religion, fourth is philosophy. Religion, I mean, it's not a specific religion. All religions have yoga in one form or the other. And while you do the asana, it will be artistic. And it's full of science. And philosophy is that yoga improves your health and age. I just want to compare the science with spirituality. Normally, yoga is called, no, you are aged, you are fit enough for yoga, you go for yoga. But it has a lot of science from a small child to a great adult. The science and spirituality is, everyone has heard the Dashavatara. In that, there is Varahavatara. Varahavatara is the globe which is falling in, sinking into the sea, is being pushed up. Years and years and years ago. Then they came to know that the globe is round. That's why it's called in Kannada Bhugola. In Hindi, Bhugol. Bhugol. Gol is round, Bhu is Bhumi, Earth. Second is the astronomical issues, like the calendar that they have, Panchanga is called. Today, even today, the 365th day, what is happening, at what time the sun arises, sun goes down, is written up 365 days in advance. This is pure science. So the Panchanga is science, spirituality is science. There are a few non-resting pillars. One is in front of Qutub Minar. Second is in Kollur Temple, Mukambika. Qutub Minar, the pillar is supposed to be iron. It has not rested. People have been trying to do some research. They have not been able to produce a metal of that type. This was done ages ago. And the pillar in front of the temple Mukambika is done by the not by the advanced scientists, but by the crude, people who live in the forest. When Shankaracharya came, they installed that. Gayatri Mantra, everybody knows, it has an effect. It has an effect. It has the maximum vibration as compared to all the slokas on this earth. Not only the Hindu slokas, any sloka you take, the Research Institute at California has come out that Gayatri Mantra has the maximum vibration as compared to all the other slokas in the world. Everybody, they had a phenomenal knowledge thousands and thousands of years ago. And all these scientists were saints. They were doing yoga, pranayama, and meditation. I'm trying to recollect and compare the basics of science with spirituality. It is the British who broke our education. They found that if this is allowed, India will unite itself. They did not want people to unite. So they broke the education, and the yoga, everything is put into some place, and all sorts of things are being taught. Now, after Narendra Modi took over, he is giving so much of importance to yoga, and because of him, 21st June is supposed to be the International Yoga Day, celebrated in more than 280 countries in the world. What is life? Life, the adventure of life is to learn. The purpose of life is to grow. The nature of life is to change. You have to keep on learning as you grow, and you have to change yourself. If you don't change, I don't mean that you should thoroughly change from A to Z, but you have to adjust to the environment. If you don't change, then you become a casuarina tree. If you try to adjust, you become a bamboo tree. When there's the breeze, bamboo tree bends and comes back. Casuarina may break. Why I have brought this is all of you are learned, aged, experienced, so we have to accept the change. Life through yoga. Yoga is not an eternal life. Just because I'm doing yoga, I'm not a saint. It is not eternal life. It is sensible life. I'm leading a sensible life. Aging in the normal course is, I repeated, I already told about this. Now, I said science in yoga. The basic science in the high schools is physics, chemistry, and biology. Biology means botany and zoology. What is physics, chemistry, and biology in yoga? The moment if you say yoga, three structures are, you are mindful of three structures. One is asana. Yoga means everybody thinks it is asana. It is not so. Asana is 12% of yoga. Kindly bear with you. Asana is 12% of yoga. Asana, pranayama, and meditation. These are the three things normally spoken when once you say yoga. I have compared these three with the physics, chemistry, and biology. What is physics? Physics is asanas, the physical structure. It is the bones, muscles, joints. I put it as physics. What is chemistry? It is the physics is called physiodynamics. Chemistry is meditation concerning the brain and the mind. It is not on account of muscles or bones, but it is brain and the mind. That is the chemistry. This is psychodynamics. Psychodynamics. Biology is pranayama concerning the lungs and the heart. Lungs and the heart. This is biodynamics. So you can imagine now what is physics, what is chemistry, what is biology. Why should you go to physics, chemistry, biology? I'll show you some ailments now. One is like directly connected with, just a minute. I will just tell these people not to make so much of sound. 1 minute. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Because there was a message, unmute yourself. There was some work going on. I requested them to stop for about an hour. So I just sent a message again. So physics, chemistry, biology. All the ailments of the human fall within these three. Are you surprised? Next, you see the next slide. Asanas, bones, muscles, joints. Arthritis, spondylitis, sciatica, slip disc, shoulder pain, backache, cervical spondylitis, so on. Are they on account of the brain? They are all on account of the bones and muscles. And we have solutions for all these in asanas. That's what I wanted to tell in detail. This pranayama, concerned with lungs and heart. Cough and cold, bronchitis, sinusitis, allergy, hypertension, irregular blood flow, IHD, ischemic heart disease. All these are not on account of bones and joints, but because of the lungs and heart. Pranayama is the solution. About this science in pranayama, complete details of each pranayama science, I will give the details in the next session. I will restrict myself to the earlier part of it now. Let us go to the meditation part of it. Meditation, brain and mind are utilized in meditation. Headache cannot be on account of bones, migraine, vertigo, stress, memory impairment, distress and confusion. All these can be overcome, many more can be overcome through meditation. Any ailment, for that matter, for the human, is possible to be overcome. We can try to overcome using the techniques of yoga. That's why I always say yoga is pure science, then the spirituality. When once you start performing yoga, slowly you will get into spirituality. You need not teach spirituality. You cannot buy spirituality. You can only acquire spirituality on your own. Yoga is good for community, immunity, and unity. Community, when all of you are sitting together, you are there. And immunity, when once you start doing yoga, you will get a lot of immunity and unity. Because we are all yoga culture people, we get united. For your kind reference, I conduct a yoga session in pranayama and meditation twice a week. I think some of them are also here. Most of them did not get affected with COVID because they were doing the breathing part of it. I will explain in detail how breathing can help you to overcome many of the ailments. When you say total health, it's not only in the body, but also in mind. I may look fit, but I may not be good in my mind. So health means, total health means body and mind. This is exactly what yoga is. It brings the body and mind together in yoga. Yoga is the science of holistic living. Sir Aurobindo said, yoga is a methodical effort towards self-perfection at the physical, vital, mental, intellectual, and spiritual levels. Benefits of yoga. I'm just giving general ideas about yoga. It improves circulation. It improves circulation of the blood, increases the flexibility. You must have seen in the news that a 125-year-old man, Swami Shivananda, was given Padma Shri. If you have seen that video, you see how he bends and then.
Yes.
That is the flexibility. I may not be having that. Many of us may not have that. But if you start yoga from the young age, perhaps you will be in a position to do it. My pranams to that great man, great Shivananda. It builds strength. It relieves pain. The Omkara in yoga, when you have the pain, if you put the Omkara and keep on chanting Omkara along with that or listening to it, you can feel the pain slowly coming down. It increases energy. It improves respiration, increases self-awareness. This is not possible to get in any of the exercises except yoga. Self-awareness. I'm fit. I'm like this. It improves a lot of concentration, which you will get more in yoga than others. Boosts immunity, as already told. It improves your sleep. The first aspect of yoga is your sleep culture will get regularized. It promotes inner peace. More than anything, it reduces the stress. I will talk something about the stress, which is the main factor for most of the ailments. What are the common ailments? Apart from COVID, other things, blood pressure, diabetes, the mental ailment like headache, migraine, etc., etc. Stress also is an ailment, and the back pain. I'll talk something about the back pain and more about the stress. So these are the normal ailments which can be overcome by doing yoga. As I said earlier, by the grace of God, by the blessings of my parents, and with my efforts on yoga, I am free from blood pressure and diabetes, which is affecting the younger generation now. At the age of 25, 30, people are coming to me, sir, I have a blood pressure, I am diabetic. So it is, what is the thing that is coming, bringing all these things together, you will know as I move the slides over. For senior citizens, which are the ailments normally? General weakness, yes, including me, backache, cervical problems, shoulder problems. You can't turn right while sleeping, you will get pain on the right shoulder. If you turn left, you will get pain on the left shoulder. If you put your face up, you will not get sleep. All these things will definitely appear with age. Insomnia, the sleeplessness, the eye and the ear defects normally, blood pressure, diabetes. What's the situation is the Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. I will show you one slide on Alzheimer's and how it can be slightly overcome by practicing yoga. Stress is the factor. For any ailment, any of the thing, stress is the factor. When you get stressed, you become, the anger increases, there will be a depression, there will be a lot of confusion, acidity develops, you will have headache, you will have lesser immunity, and the constipation. All the other ailments start accruing after this. So the basic point is stress. How to take this stress out? I will try to help you with some of the slides. Why stress? 1 minute. Yeah. Human body is a chemical industry. Stress is a very common state of mind. Pressures, challenge, competition. Of course, that is at the younger age, not at the senior citizen age. At the senior citizen age, it is a little different. The children, the damage that the children have created you, the damage your friends have created you, the damage you have created on your own, all these will create stress, result in low motivation, and of course, the youngsters desire worldly pleasures. Meditation calms the brain and the mind. I have put it as glass of water. I try to explain. I was attending one of the sessions. There, a lady psychiatrist was giving a lecture. She held a glass of water, which was half with water, a glass. She said, "What is this?" Everybody will say, half full, half empty. Normally, she said, "This is a glass of water, not full, but 3/4 full. I am holding it for a few seconds, putting it down. Again, I take it and hold it for about 10 minutes, putting it down. And again, I take it and hold it for half an hour and putting it down." This is what she says, stress. Stress is a factor without which you can't live. You can't exist. You can't start any work without a stress. Some stress is required. But as she said, holding it for 5 seconds is fine. Holding it for 10 minutes, you will get pain here, shoulder. Half an hour, you will feel like putting it down. So stress is a factor that is already existing, but you should not allow it to accumulate. So you should know how to de-stress as a mechanism every day. When you do that, you will not have the blood pressure or the diabetes. Of course, you have to do asanas also, but this is one of the most important aspects, the stress. Stress is the body and mind reaction response. When, of course, when I go to this, I will explain the expectation and acceptance. I expect 300 people to join, but maybe 60, 70. If I get stressed, if I do not accept, I get stressed. I accept. Let there be only 20, doesn't matter. I accept it. So there's no stress. Like it is a body and mind reaction response. It reduces the immunity in the body greatly. Because of this, the people become less immune because of the stress. And it results in malfunctioning of all cells and organs. All organs in the cells start malfunctioning. Meditation improves the system. The parasympathetic nervous system. In the next session, I will give a lot of details about the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, which gets affected for the better in meditation. The parasympathetic nervous system is the sympathetic nervous system is the stress, pressure. The parasympathetic nervous system is relax, the strategy. Both of them are there in our brain. Whether you allow the stress, the sympathetic or parasympathetic is left to you. How do you do it? By taking positive, converting negative cycle to positive cycle, you are developing, improving the effective functioning of the parasympathetic nervous system. Then you are calm, your mind becomes calm. The reasons for stress: overstraining the mind. If you your wife doesn't bring a cup of tea at the proper time, don't get stressed. She is busy with her own self. Wait for another 5 minutes, then you will not get stressed. If you say, I should have tea at this time, then you get stressed. The irregular diet. Have a regular diet, eat less, have a regular diet. The irregular diet increases stress. Overeating increases stress. This is the irregular diet and overeating and no exercise. These are the three things which the common factors in the present younger generation. Why I'm telling all these things is, if you to the younger generation today, if you say, do yoga, no, you're 84 years old, you have no better business, you do it. When you test science in yoga and science in whatever I'm telling, it will din into their ears and then try to motivate some people to take up the yoga, which I have successfully done. No exercise, trauma. Trauma is another factor which might have stayed in your mind for quite many years. Example, none can destroy the iron except its rust. Nobody can destroy the iron. Nobody can destroy you except your own self. What happens when there is stress? The psychology of stress is the emotional impact on the brain. Anxiety, fear, depression, anger, sadness. The psychology of the stress. The physiology of stress. Acidity, ulcers, heart ailments, blood pressure, kidney problems, diabetes. Most of the ailments are on account of stress. When the stress accumulates, as I said, the organs start malfunctioning. Thereby, you have to take extra insulin, you have to take pills for controlling BP, etc. How, having heard all these things, how do you manage stress? This is important. The root cause, we know it is the mind. You have to manage the mind. Very, very easy for me to tell, very easily told. You manage your mind, you will not get stressed. But how do you do that? That is the point. It can't be taught to you that you have to do this, you have to do this. You have to think positive, and your attitude should change towards positivity. One example, I was teaching in St. John's in Koramangala. There were about 25-30 ladies coming at that time, particular time, 10 o'clock or so. Having sent the husband to the work, having sent the children to the school, they were free. So I was taking it. About 30-40 of them were there. I went on telling them about pranayama, meditation. After listening to me for some time, some of the ladies asked me, sir, you are always telling that positivity, negativity, and relaxation. Can you explain with example? My God, the ladies are asking me how to relax. The easiest question would have been, ask your husband, so that he will not bother you much, you will be less stressed. But I gave an example. Every one of them had a child or two. I said, when you take a child to the school, in the sense, near the gate, I'm talking of the apartment because they're all there in the apartment. When you take the child to the gate to put him into the bus in the morning, you equip with all the things with the heavy load, he gets into the bus, you know. And at 3:30, you'll be waiting like a hawk to reach the child. You will go to the gate, even 1 minute late, bus is 1 minute late. Why is he coming late? Why is he not on time? All these things will be there. So the moment the bus comes, you will be anxious to see how the child has fared that day. Suppose the child, while climbing down the bus, starts weeping and shows the hand which is bleeding. Mommy, I hurt my finger. The negativity I will tell first and then tell the positivity. The negative mother who thinks through negativity says, how did it happen? When did it happen? Who did it? Did you tell the school teacher? Did you get the first aid? 5, 6 questions that your child will be only, and without answering any question, will be pouring tears. Whereas a person, a lady with a positive mind, what she will say, the moment she says, oh dear, this is a small wound. I have Dettol at home. Don't worry, this will go away within no time. I will give you one more extra cup of milk. That is the positivity. When I said, yes, sir, we agree. So any situation of this, you should handle it this way. Another person said, sir, you were telling about the positive and negativity. What about relaxation? My God. Then I said, the same example, the mother, the child. You are going to the gate, waiting for the bus to come, and the bus comes, the child comes out, holding the mask card in his or her hand and shouting, Mommy, I got 90%. What will happen to the mother? Nothing will happen to the child. Mother will jump up. That is relaxation. Could you were able to decipher between the three? Every situation in our life should be handled with positivity. When once you do with positivity, you will have the relaxation. You have to build capacity to face stressful situations to reduce the impact of stress at physiological level. Yoga, pranayama, meditation, all these three improve the status of the mind. In addition, healthy lifestyle and food habits. Healthy lifestyle and food habits, I cannot exclude it from anything. It is your own doing or misdoing. It is left to you. Expectation, acceptance, I have told already. Now coming to the mind. A disciplined mind in the morning guides the whole day. That's the mood. See, there is many of you must have heard the Ajna Chakra in yoga. It is actually located above, in the forehead, below the head. That is Ajna Chakra. Ajna Chakra, otherwise, if you see a woman putting her tilak here, that is almost like Ajna Chakra. You know the reason why, the science behind that? Nobody can say hypnotize you if you have a big this thing here. That is the principle, the elders. Nobody can hypnotize. Otherwise, ladies are easily hypnotizable. Okay, your child is doing this, let them not do it. They will go to the past, and then bring you down. So that cannot happen if you have that. That's called Ajna Chakra. In Ajna Chakra, there are two glands. One is called the pituitary gland, and the second is called the pineal gland. Pituitary gland is the master gland, and the pineal gland is the mood gland. If you have developed a system of getting into the bed at 10:30, 11, and get up at 5, as I do, you don't need an alarm. The pineal gland will get adjusted to that and then wake you up at 5 o'clock exactly. Mind is directly connected to the brain, and brain is directly related to the function of the organs of the human. Every organ of the body is controlled by brain. This is very important. Kindly note that every organ in the human is controlled by brain. Every movement of your body, every syllable that comes out of your tongue is controlled by brain. Later on, I will refer this back and then tell you about it. Stress. We have heard something about stress. Stress results in shallow breathing. You must have observed when we get stressed, must be breathing like this, something like that. So less stress results in shallow breathing and less oxygen is taken. Taking the oxygen, etc. In a few more slides, I'll be explaining that, which delays in blood purification, and the impure blood gets into the stream. When the impure blood gets into the stream, all the organs which are looking for oxygenated blood, they start malfunctioning. Deep breathing is the energy medicine. I will give some hints about deep breathing in the present session itself. Dr. Beke Saingar has said, mind is the king of senses, breath is the king of the mind, rhythmic breathing in pranayama is the king of the breath. Breath, mind, senses, all these are connected. Mind is the king of senses. Breath is the king of the mind. Rhythmic breathing in pranayama is the king of the breath. So when you do pranayama with the rhythmic breathing, your mind and senses become all right. I just want to change the monotony by telling you a small joke. Otherwise, I think I will not cure your insomnia also. So the joke is that two doctors will be giving a lecture on birth control. Two doctors in a platform will be giving a lecture on birth control. Dr. A, youngster, he gives about half an hour lecture, sits down. The second person also gets up. He's a middle-aged person. He also gives a lecture on birth control. And after both of them give half an hour each, a person from the audience comes on the stage and says, Doctor A, how many children you have? The youngster says, I don't have. Dr. B, how many children you have? He's middle-aged. He says, I have 3. He turns to the audience and says, none of these doctors are fit for talking on birth control because one has no birth, another has no control. See, when once you want to tell something, you should be one with that. Mother Teresa says, unless you are one with that, you can give 100 examples. If you cannot be one with one example, you are unfit to quote 100 examples. As I keep doing this, because of my experience, I don't have any PhDs. I got my PhDs from about half a dozen people whose backache was completely out. They were about to go for surgery. Of course, in the apartment they used to come, and they are perfectly all right now with fast walking. That is the PhD I got, not the PhD in the institutions. So deep mind is the king of senses. I have told you, keep your mind blank and clear. This is called mind wandering. A person gets 60,000 thoughts in a day. Can you imagine? 60,000 thoughts in a day. Every second, every minute, the thought keeps on changing. If you just sit down, you can't sit idle. You'll be getting a lot of thoughts into your mind. The 60,000 thoughts in a day. And most of the 60,000 thoughts are negative thoughts. The negative takes over the positive most of the time. And it keeps on repeating. You can examine your mind tomorrow when you get the thoughts, and you can yourself do it. So the negative thoughts keep on repeating. Your mind has to be under control. If your mind and senses are under control, it is possible to bring down the ailments. How do you do it? Yeah. I told you, willpower defeats all powers. The greatest distance in the earth, you know, which is the greatest distance? It is between the mind and the heart. 14 inches is the greatest distance because you can't put these two together. When you try to put these two together, you are a successful person. Normally, you get pain in the joint. Many people think that it is either the muscle or the bone. But in between, there's what is called tendon. It's a tissue. Why I was very specifically mentioning this is in aerobics, in gym. I used to run. I never went to gym, but I used to run, do all sorts of exercises. There, the tendon is not very much involved. So the muscle and the bone are very much involved. Whereas in yoga, it is the tendon which starts reacting first, and then it goes to the muscle and the bone. That's why when you do yoga, you will never get the damage done. Something about the back pain. See, the backbone has the cervical vertebrae, about 6 or 7, the 12 thoracic vertebrae, the blue ones, and the vulnerable lumbar vertebrae. And of course, this is the cocci, etc. This is the most vulnerable area of the back. You can see the arch here. What happens? Why people get? If you get back pain, you will take a pill, forget about it. It will repeat. Again, you take a pill, forget about it. You will never think why it has come. That is the danger. Dr. B.K. Sengar says, when you have a pain, that is the alarm that something is wrong, correct it. Go to the base of it and correct it. We never touch the base, but we go to the doctor, take a pill, painkiller, and forget about it. What happens? The weight of the body and all these but the weight of all the body and all these vertebra falls on the lumbar. When you have terrific back pain, if you go and take an X-ray, it is L4, L5, L3, or sacral. Sometimes if it goes beyond, then it goes to sciatica. I don't want to explain too much about sciatica because when the backbone gets into the thighs, it breaks up into two and then it becomes a sciatic nerve. Why do you get the pain? Because these vertebrae, when they are given some space, intervertebral disc, it is okay. But when, because of the damage, it starts pressing. How does it do? See here. See, this is the typical vertebral column, piece of vertebral column. The spinal cord will be going inside and the vertebral body, intervertebral disc. And when it gets pressed here, then the nerve gets slightly affected, then you get the pain. What to do? Keep your back straight. The simplest mechanism for a back pain is keep your back straight. How do you do it? Sit in a chair with a back support. Don't do anything else except a hard cotton pillow. Put it behind. There's a pillow when I sit here. So that pillow, if you just sit, you will not scoop like this. It will not allow you to scoop. When you scoop, the weight gets dismantled and there is an overweight on the lumbar. If you keep straight, then the weight cannot be reduced but gets uniformly distributed among all the vertebrae. Thereby, lumbar will not get affected. Many of the people with the back pain have the lumbar problem. Yeah, this is many people have the problem of knee, including me. Okay, see, this is what happens when you get a problem of knees. The synovium fluid will be absent and the cartilage gets reduced. So this bone stands on this bone without much cushion. When this happens, these two crunch one against the other to create problem. There are ways and means of doing asanas to overcome the knee problem using the belt. Now, as far as the uh, breathing is concerned, I will tell something about it. You must have heard the word inner mind. Many yoga people will say Agna Chakra, inner mind, etc. Inner mind is, if you dissect the head, you will not get it. You have to feel the inner mind. How to open the inner mind? 3 keys to open the inner mind. What is the inner mind? You are feeling yourself, you are becoming aware of your own self, is called inner mind. Inner mind has a lot of potential, as I keep explaining to you. The first key is sit in a calm place without sound. The second key is keep the back straight. The third is observe your breath, the inhale and exhale. After doing all these things, you should try to lengthen the same. This is breathing. You are breathing with your nostrils, but this is the same breathing in a different counter. The things I'm telling is, you are getting into the inner mind because of this. When you sit in a calm place, keep the back straight, observe your breath, and try to lengthen the same. What is the effect of this? Next few slides will show you how effective this simple breathing is. Breath has recuperative powers. Breath control alters the state of mind. Slower breathing energizes parasympathetic nervous system. Slow breathing energizes the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is another nerve on the back of the head, back of the neck. Somebody falls like this with a stone, if it hits, he's immediately out. That is the vagus nerve. It lowers the heart rate. Inhale stimulates, exhale relaxes. Conscious breathing is as a break a day is very good. Whenever you get stressed, overwork, sit in a calm place, follow those 3 keys. Improves the emotional and physical health. Everybody knows what is this? Oxygen cylinders. A person inhales 3 cylinders of oxygen per day. If you take 700 rupees approximately a cylinder, in a month, about 21,000, per annum, 7.66 lakhs. Suppose he lives for 65 years, approximately, example, he would be needing 5 crores. But do you have to spend this money? Why? Why should you spend? God gives us free of cost, free to us. You are not using the God's gift. That's what I'm trying to say in my next slide. The normal breathing, kindly listen to this very carefully. The normal breathing is about 5 to 8 seconds. You can go, put on your stopwatch, and then try to examine tomorrow or after the session is over, how many breathings you will do in a minute. It will normally be 5 to 8 seconds. Just extend this and hold it for some time, and then make a long exhale, is just enough to keep you healthy. Surprise? I'm doing it. It keeps me healthy. How we do it? Why should we do it? See, when you inhale, you are inhaling oxygen. I think next slide, I think. Yeah. Okay, this will explain. Why should you do it? The lungs are the parts, which when you inhale, exhale, they take oxygen and then take away carbon dioxide. It is comprised of 700 million alveoli. The philosophy is, I told you about the breath. Somebody, when he croaks, they will say, he breathed his last. What does it mean? God has written so many breaths for each individual, to me, to you, to everybody, but we don't know. So when you say somebody croaks, say, he died, he breathed his last. In Kannada, say, prana hoitu. So the normal course, about 200, 250 are only used against 700 million alveoli. You have, when you lengthen the breath, then you'll be using more of alveoli. This is single. I will tell you next slide. Will give you more about why should you breathe long. This is the purpose of alveoli. The blood comes in here, carbon dioxide is taken out, and oxygen is put in, and then it goes into the heart. This is the process of one alveoli. There are 700 million alveoli in the lungs. You are hardly using 200, 250 at a time. Why should you concentrate on alveoli? I will tell you. This is from the body, the venomous blood is sucked out, and then it goes to the heart, and then it goes to the lungs. When it goes to both the lungs, here the oxygen level, it depends upon the oxygen level. It's called gas exchange. The carbon dioxide is taken out, oxygen is put in. When you have more of oxygen here, the blood becomes more pure. More of good blood with oxygenated blood will come down. When once it happens, it's a free flow. It comes down, goes into the heart, and again gets distributed into the body. Listen, if there is no sufficient oxygen at this level, then the same blood gets into the heart and moves into the body. What happens? It starts creating plaques on either side. The plaques, if they are soft, then with angio, everybody must have heard of angio, they open it up and then allow the free blood to flow. Suppose this has become harder, then they will go for a stunt. Put a piece of metal here to allow the blood to flow. In spite of it, if it doesn't happen, then you have to go for a bypass. You can avoid bypass by just breathing. It should be regular from the very early stage, and then it should be done on a regular basis. It doesn't mean that a person who breathes will never have it, but you can avoid most of it. You have understood the importance of breathing and the oxygen. This plaque happens because the impure blood, the non-oxygenated blood flows and starts accumulating as a plaque. When you have the oxygenated blood, this will not happen, and there's a free flow. And when the blood flow gets disturbed, the heart starts pumping faster. Let it go. That is called blood pressure. You can avoid blood pressure by doing simple breathing and lessening the stress. This is my intention of telling you. Now, let me tell you, I told that earlier that brain is the factor which controls the entire body. Whatever the blood that goes, 70% is required by the brain. You know the systole and diastole, and 72 heartbeats. Most of us know about it, and only 30% goes to the rest of the body. Now, when there is a stress, what happens? The relaxing period reduces. So the relaxing period reduces, and the purification slows down. The impure blood gets into the stream and results in deposits, as you saw. So when you have a regular flow of blood to the brain, not only it regulates the blood pressure, but it will avoid futuristic psychosomatic diseases affecting the brain. Stress factors. Everybody thinks stress factor is due to smoking, all these things. No. 20-25% is only diet. The rest of 70% is due to emotions, thinking, attitude, memories. This is the way in which the coronary bypass is done. These are the coronary arteries, and when it gets blocked, when it cannot be done, repaired at all, they go in for a bypass. I now come back to 5:10. Okay. Water. Water is an important input for the human. It converts food into energy. You should be knowing 75% of the brain is water and 83% of blood is water. Whenever a person starts bleeding, he needs water. 22% of bones is water and it regulates the body temperature. At least 2 to 3 liters of water per day you should drink regularly, 2 to 4 liters. I was telling something about one particular point of Jalaneti. If need be, I will explain it in the next session also more. Jalaneti is cleaning up the sinuses. How you do it is, you take lukewarm water with little of salt and try to use a pot called Jalaneti pot. When you introduce that neti pot into the right nostril, bend the head to the left, the water slowly gets in, cleans up all the 4 sinus sacs and then comes out. You need not have to do anything at all. But the caution is you should do it for the first time in the presence of a guru or a guide. Otherwise, you will get confused, you will not do it. By doing this, the nasal becomes clear, the oxygen starts increasing entry into the mind and the brain and the heart and the lungs. Then all the things, 30% of your breathing is done without your efforts. That's why I'm so particular about it. I have been doing it, not only me, so many people who are suffering from sinusitis started doing this. Now they are completely out of sinusitis. They are perfectly all right. Everybody wants happiness. Do I not? Do you not? Everybody wants happiness. Fear less, love more, complain less, appreciate more, watch less, do more, judge less, accept more, talk less, listen more, very difficult, frown less, smile more, think less, feel more. Buddha, when he was in pensive mood, the meditation, one of the disciples came to him and said, I want happiness. He said, you write, I want happiness. At that time, there was no pen and pencil and all that. He wrote it on the floor. I want happiness. He said, Buddha said, what is I? I is ego. Take it out. Want happiness. Only 2 are left. What is want? Desire. Let it go. What is left? Happiness. If you don't have ego, if you don't have the desire, I'm living in this place. My friend is living in a better place. Don't be, feel happy that your friend is in a better place. Don't be jealous. When the jealousy starts, that desire starts. When you don't have the desire and the ego, lets it go, everything will be okay. I always tell the people that I am a retired government officer. I did not make money of 3 complexes, 5 acres and all that. I'm happy with what pension I get. God has given me 2 meals a day. My desires are ordinary meals. I don't have any desire further. We are leading, both of us are leading a happy life. That is happiness. For senior citizens, some points. Age-activated attention deficit syndrome. It's called AAADS. Somebody might have heard of it. In Kannada, it's called Aralo Muralo. You think of doing something, start doing it, suddenly you remember something else to be done. This will be kept as it is, and you go to the next. When you are trying to do the second, the third comes in. This happens to most of us, including me. So you have to concentrate on the number 1. Okay, you have to go to number 2. There's a call. You have to answer the call. Okay, keep that on the table so that you remember that. This is one of the things. Health, activity, social service. When you do social service, you will get the immense happiness. You cannot get that happiness with tons of money, I tell you. Online, I do conduct, as I said, online pranayama and meditation. And as I told you, God has given me 2 meals a day. I don't need any money. I do it as a social service. Anybody can join. It is on 2 days a week, Wednesday and Sunday, between 7 and 8 in the evening. It is pranayama and meditation only, because online we cannot do asanas. Asanas need one-to-one. You will have problem of the security with you. And of course, the problem created by children. I have put it as a backbone movie. You must have seen this movie, Amitabh Bachchan. You will understand how the children can create problem to you. Start the day early with a prayer. Mother Teresa says, beautiful poem she has written. I was under the impression that the prayer will change me, change the entire thing here. It is not so. Prayer changes me and I change the environment. Prayer doesn't change the environment. Pray to have eyes that see good in others. Whenever you see, never feel jealous. Feel happy that you are having a good person with you. Have eyes that see good in others. Life is a question. Death is an answer. Enjoy till you get your answer. Why should you bother about it? Happiness is a journey, not a destination, sir. Today I'm happy. Tomorrow also you should be happy. Stress. Forgiveness is one of the important things. When somebody gives you problem, if you forgive, you will be forgiven by God. Worries looks around, sorry at the back, faith looks up. Eat and live. I have written clearly. Eat only to live. Don't put the other way. Don't live to eat. Enemy occupies more space in the brain than a well-wisher in the heart. Improve your heart. The mind is a powerful force. It can enslave you or empower us. It's like a crystal. Crystal doesn't have a color. Whatever color you give, the crystal reflects that color. Your mind is like that. So if you give a good color to your mind crystal, it will give it back to you. Regular yoga, pranayama, meditation relaxes your mind. I'm almost coming to the close of it. Wow, again, there's a break. I want to give a joke so that I will change your monotony of listening to me continuously. Again, a doctor. Doctor will be doing an operation of a brain. This is just a joke. It doesn't refer to any doctor or any patient. The wife comes to the doctor. Doctor, I want to take my husband home tomorrow. My God, he is under operation. You have to replace the brain. How can it be done within a day? It takes time. In the meantime, you please tell me which brain you have to replace. There are 3 brains here. It's a joke again, please. 3 brains here. The first brain he shows and says $50,000. The brain is of a lecturer, a professor. Wife says, no. If he puts this brain on, comes and he will start arguing with me, he will start teaching me. I don't want this. Number 2, it is costing $100,000. It is the brain of an advocate. Advocate, my God, everything he will argue on his own. So if he comes back with this brain, I will never be able to succeed. So no. The third one is $250,000. It is the brain of a Superman like officer, big officer, or a bank officer. Let us say bank officer, the chief of the bank. So she says, why it is so costly? It is hardly used. Hardly used. That's why it is costly. So please keep your mind stable. one or two points about the Alzheimer. Alzheimer is, some people, dementia, Alzheimer is an advanced stage. It's called, if I show you the picture and then show it. See, this is the healthy brain and this is the Alzheimer brain. What happens in the Alzheimer brain? It, of course, it shrinks a bit, but what happens? There are some communication network called synapses. The docking of the synapses brings the continuity of the communication. The dull plaques around the synapses and breaks the community. There will be a memory loss. You might have heard that they remember the latest, or 10 years ago, they don't remember the latest, something like that. Sanskrit slokas with 40 hearts retain the network. This has been proved by scientists. The Sanskrit slokas. Keeping this in view, even the German and Netherlands have started Sanskrit slokas at the primary stage in school. They have already started Sanskrit slokas to start with. We go by ding dong bell, pussies in the well, whereas they go to Sanskrit slokas. That is the difference. Brain waves reduce the plaques. Indian Institute of Science has come out with a protein, factin, maintains the shape of the spines. Pranayama, meditation, can sustain the docking spots. If you start doing it, you will get I don't know whether there will be an improvement. People in NIMHANS have been trying their best, and I have heard a couple of beautiful webinars from NIMHANS. They have confirmed that pranayama meditation can improve the illness. About one or two possible asanas I have indicated, not many. See, this is, I told you that the blood has to go to the brain. See, this what happens when you go near the wall and try to raise the legs along the wall. Take your own time. Even if you take 10 minutes, doesn't matter. Stay in this posture for about 10 minutes. The blood starts flowing like this and gets into the brain. That is 70% of the blood has to go to the brain, I told you. It relieves palpitations, breathlessness, asthma, migraine, headaches, calms the mind, and nourishes the face and ears. This is called chair shavasana. This reduces the BP if you keep continuously doing it. The science behind this is, first of all, let me say how it is done. You are lying down on the mat and then putting the legs on the chair. She has put a bolster because the height of the chair. This height should be the height of your thigh and the knee. This height. And you should put both the legs on the chair and don't sleep. You have to just keep breathing. You have now understood what is breathing. Keep doing here. The science behind this is, while in the previous one, the blood starts flowing in a force because of the gravity. Actually, incidentally, I wanted to say my varicose veins has greatly come down because of this. So this chairs, what happens here? The brain gets enough blood because of the strata. That is the gravity, slight force is put up, and then the heart gets some sort of a rest. I don't mean the rest for the heart. If there is a rest for the heart, you are not there. So the heart has to pump. If you are living at till 90, for 90 years, it has to pump blood to the head. You can imagine. If you walk a few miles, a few kilometers, little more, you will feel tired. I want rest. Where will you give rest to the heart? It has to continuously work. So this is the way in which you give a rest to the heart. And when once you rest the heart, the muscles become strong and they start working in the normal course. This reduces the eye strain on the heart, normalizes the BP. Course of time, course, this is Shavasana. This is chair Shavasana. Relieve symptoms of cold, cough, and tonsillitis, and especially to relieve symptoms of menopause. Ladies having the menopause problem, if they start doing it, you should not sleep. You should be awake. Listen to some music. Listen to Omkara. Omkara is the most powerful sound on this earth. This is my creation. I think this is the last slide. My creation. I have whatever you have learned so far, the pranayama, the asanas, and meditation are all combined here. I have compared it to a factory to make the people understand easily. This is the factory of blood. The raw materials are oxygen and blood. The machinery is lungs. The support energy is glands. And the process is pranayama. Today, digital world, you need a process. And a processor is alveoli. And what is the product that you get because of this is good blood and immunity. And no factory will keep the final stock. It becomes a dead stock if it is not distributed. The asanas distribute this good blood throughout the body. Every factory has, even Belandur has so much of dirt. It is urine, bowels, and sweat or the toxins from the body. This is my contribution, my creation. Never win people with arguments, but defeat them with a smile. Abdul Kalam was asked a question, which is the most difficult and most easy things in your life? He responded, call later. Easy to judge when others do it. Difficult to assess when we do it. That is the most difficult, most easy, according to Abdul Kalam. Explore, experiment, experience, enjoy good health, emerge as a positive human and an efficient citizen. Thank you very much. 11:20. Sorry, 5:20. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very useful session for all of us.
Yes, definitely. It is actually like a Wikipedia or encyclopedia. From A to Z, you have really covered each and everything, sir. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation and the PPTs which you have presented. Each slides were having a lot of resource. I am damn sure that all the participants have gained a lot of knowledge from the PPTs which you have presented. Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to request any participants, if you have any questions, please raise your hands, or you can unmute your mic and ask your questions and queries. Anybody? Any participant would like to ask any questions?
So more than questions, I would like to say that we have been doing yoga, but we have been passive receptors of whatever has been asked by others to do. Now we understand the science behind it. And this is something very important, that you know why you're doing and what you are doing. So sir has enlightened us in that aspect, and this is very good. Absolutely. So thank you so much, sir.
In the next session, it will be mostly on pranayama, different types of pranayama and the science behind each one of them.
Yes.
Thank you. Very good session. Very good session, but he has explained all things. Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Anybody
you.
would like to ask any question? Anuradha ma'am, would you like to ask any? Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, you told for osteoarthritis, it has helped you a lot.
Yeah.
Without sitting down, by chair only, we can improve everything, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
The asanas, I didn't show you because lack of time.
Okay.
Next session, I will put about 3-4 asanas with props, without props. That will give you an idea.
Okay.
When you do asanas, sitting down, you can do the same asanas sitting on a chair.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
using the props, especially when you mention osteoarthritis, it is the belt. When you
Yeah.
lift your leg up,
Okay.
it will not be straight, it will be bent like this. So when
Okay.
you put the belt and then do it, you
Right.
can pull it up and
Straight.
make it straight.
Okay.
Keep
That
on
belt where
doing
it is
it.
available, sir?
Sorry?
Belt where it is available, sir?
I can give you the contact. It is
Okay.
available, but you should know how to use it before
Okay.
buying it. So somewhere where BK Iyengar yoga is being done,
Yeah.
if you go there, then you will know about it.
Okay.
Or if you
Thank you very
contact
much,
me,
sir. It was very nice, sir.
Yeah.
So much science behind yoga we got to know. Thank you very much.
any other question?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anuradha ma'am.
Excuse me, sir.
Nirmala ma'am? Yes, ma'am, please.
ಇದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್? ಅದು ವೀಕ್ಲಿ 2 days ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಣಾಯಾಮ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್,
But
ಅದ್ರ
that
ಲಿಂಕ್
is-
ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್?
ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ಚಾಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಾ?
ಹಾಕಿ ಸರ್.
we will be
ಚಾಟ್ಗಿನ
continuing the same session for
Okay.
next.
What I will do is, I will send the next link, that is on Sunday, tomorrow, to Gina and Sunita. You can, both of you can share that link and let any person interested join.
It's
Okay.
online,
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್
sir.
ಯು.
It's online.
ಯಾ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್.
Okay. Okay.
Online.
Yeah.
Online.
Okay.
Whoever want the link, please reach out to us. We will definitely share the link to you.
Okay.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Yeah, I'll put the number and email ID in the chat box, so we will share you the link. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anybody
so I
else would
generally,
like- Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
yeah, I generally share the link with everyone one-to-one, but in case it is missed out, it would be on my status, or someone can contact me if they are through Happy 60 Plus over here. You just send me a message to send me the link, and I will send you the link, and I will send that.
Gina, normally I don't change the link, it continues for some time. So
Okay.
when once I share it, you can share it with all the people with whom you have the contact. I mean,
Sure.
email ID.
Sure, sir.
When somebody wants specifically, they can contact you also.
Sure, sir. I can do that. No problem. Yeah.
When once they get it, they get it with their yoga group, pranayama
Okay.
group, then
Okay, sir.
continuity will be there. Even
Okay.
in pranayama, whenever I do it,
Mhm.
whatever you are trying to do that day, I will explain that with PowerPoint for at least about 10 to 15 slides. Explain what you are trying to do now, and then make them do it.
Sure, sir. Thank you. So anybody else would like to ask any questions? Satya, Paul, ma'am, would you like to ask something? Okay. Okay, then. So we will continue to have same session in our coming Sandhya Karanji session. So we will definitely meet for another last session of this. So more, like sir have said, regarding the pranayama, he will be explaining more about it. So thank you so much, sir, once again. Thank you so much for having that wonderful talk and a presentation. It was really resourceful and informative. With that, I would like to thank all the Zoom participants who have joined for today's session, and all our partners, Government of Karnataka, Indian Psychiatric Society Karnataka Chapter 1, Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, Bangalore Apartment Federation, Happy 60 Plus, Samadhana Counseling Center, Icon Life Science, REC Foundation, and NSC Foundation. Thank you so much. So I wish everybody a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. Thank you once again.
Thank you
you,
all.
sir.
Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed it.
We enjoyed.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session. Thanks everyone who came in.
Thank you.
Yeah. We enjoyed it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.